Okay, we'll continue. So this LAN connected to another LAN in another city or another country or another building or another whatever via WAN network. This is called WAN network. It must contain router. Okay, so router will connect two different topologies or two different LANs. Okay, so here we have mesh network between these routers, like internet, like real life internet. Okay, mesh network, as Khalid said, if one link is broken or if it's failure, the message will route in another path. Even slower, don't care. But to avoid interruption of the network between two LAN. Okay. Later, and deeply in this course, we'll focus on this part. Okay. We'll focus on this part. Now, what are the intermediary network device? Intermediary network device. We have example here, wireless router. A router can connect to LAN or to wireless LAN, okay, via wireless, has wireless. LAN switch, called LAN switch, because it's connect only in each LAN. Each host, each computer can connect it to this switch to connect with them, okay? So used in each LAN, it must has minimum one switch, okay? Ordinary router can connect, like example before, two different LAN without wireless, only cables. So router will connect two different LAN using cable. Wireless router can connect two different LAN using wireless Wi-Fi. Okay. Also, we have multi-layer switch. Later on, we'll talk about what is the difference between LAN switch and multi-layer switch. After chapter 4, module 4 or module 5, when you took OZ model layer or network layer, when we took this, we'll talk about what are the difference between LAN switch and multi-layer switch. We'll talk about them, okay? Now, just define them, okay? Multi-layer switch is between switch and router, okay? Later, we'll talk about a lot. Now, of course, we have firewall application or server, firewall server or firewall device, okay? We have a device called firewall. We put all our security here. It's similar to security of domain controller security for Microsoft server, domain controller network. It's similar to. So we can make firewall and we can let any IP address can pass or not pass, any domain, any network ID, any country we can reject. Each country has unique starting IP. Okay, later on we'll talk about them. So in the firewall, we can reject whole country via putting inside it, inside the firewall, in the denied access list, we can put network ID of Lebanon country or for Iran country or for China country or USA country. So this company, if any client will access its server, will be denied. Okay, we have lot of American softwares, servers, USA server. When you connect it from Lebanon, they reject you, and your country is not access. You cannot access from your country. I face lot of examples. I want to buy anything from USA, غير Amazon, different from Amazon.com. They have limited to USA citizen only. They reject all the world. So this company will buy only for USA countries. Okay, states, USA states. So limited by firewall, limited by firewall, and so on. Of course, firewall will be used against virus, against some kind of virus. So firewall can reduce the attack from virus, the attack from hackers. Okay, firewall will reduce it. Okay. Okay. Now we have the network media. We have 3 or 4 network media. We have copper or iron. Okay. The network here will be made from copper. We have different types of UTP cable. This is called UTP cable. Okay. We have different types. Later we'll see how many. Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 7, Cat 8. Okay. Category 7, 8, 9, and so on. So we have different thickness, different types of cables. This is metal wire with cables, uses electrical pulses. And we have, this is a cheap one. These are the cheapest one. And we have the glass or plastic fiber optics. This fiber optics is very high, very expensive. Okay, use pulse of light. Later we'll see in details how the data will transmit. Later we'll see in details. Very expensive here. Okay, and we have wireless transmission. Okay, use modulation waves, electromagnetic waves, like switch, like wireless router or WAN or whatever. Okay, or WiMAX and whatever. As you can see here, we have IoT device. We have camera, wireless camera. So you can access this camera via internet, via wireless router, then wireless router to the internet, and you are in another city, you can access this camera. Okay, so almost every newest device, they are wireless. Now, the network representation and topologies. Okay, as a refresh, we have end device, desktop, laptop, printer, presentation endpoint, projectors, whatever, wireless tablet, IP phone, and so on, and so on, and so on. And we have intermediary device, like we said before, switch routers. And we have the network media. Wireless media, the sign, the symbol is like that. This is the symbol of wireless media. And the packet tracer later we'll see all of this in the packet tracer. So this media is wireless. The solid line is for LAN media or network cable, ordinary network cable. And this Z, this letter Z in red color is for WAN media. So WAN media, wide area network. It can be wireless or it can be LAN. So WAN, it can be both. LAN, it can be both. Okay? WAN, it can be wireless or it can be LAN. This is the symbol. Okay? And inside the end device, it must has network interface card, network card to plug your cable. Physical port, called physical port or interface. So physical port or interface are the same. Okay, the interface. Also, we have network card wireless. It's not network cable, wireless. You can plug in your desktop network card Wi-Fi, wireless, not cable. Also, you can put USB in your desktop or laptop, USB wireless. Of course, you can put USB wireless or network card wireless. Okay, later we'll see them. So this is the network in general. Now, we have different topologies inside the network. Different topologies, star topology, ring topology. Later we'll talk about them all. But here in this slide, they present in two topologies: physical topology and logical topology. Physical topology, are the same network. Okay, we'll explain it. We have here switch, 1, S1, switch 1. This switch 1 has 3 servers inside this LAN. This is LAN number 1. LAN number 1 has web server alone, computer server, web server, email server, another computer, another server, file server, and so on. We have DNS server, DHCP server later on. We'll talk about this on MCSE course. Like I said, Microsoft course MCSE. We'll talk about domain controller. We'll talk about DNS server, DHCP server, and so on. ISA server. We'll see them in summary. Okay, so this LAN 1 has switch 1. These 3 servers are separated, or if the company is small, we can combine 3 servers in 1 server. So we can put inside 1 server the 3 applications: web server, email server, file server. We can do it in 1 server. Okay, but if the company is very big, like Amazon, like AliExpress, or Alibaba, or eBay, or whatever, no, or Hotmail, or whatever, no. Each one will be separated. So this is LAN 1. This is LAN 1 because we have switch. Because we have switch, this is LAN. The network ID is starting by 192.168.10.0. .0, it's network ID. Each one of this has specific IP. So this web server will be, the IP address will be 192.168.10. Value from 1 to 254. So it can be .1, .2 till .254. So we have 3 computers only. So we have .1, .2, .3. So this LAN will use the same network ID. Later we'll talk about them in details later. But they use the same ID, the same network ID, like fingerprint. Okay, 192.168.10.123. So this is LAN 1. Go now to switch 2. Here, switch 2, we have switch and 2 end device. So this is LAN 2. As you can see, they have different network ID. Here we have 192.168.10.0. Here we have 11.0. So this network is different than this network. This network cannot communicate with this network alone. Cannot communicate if switch 1 connected directly to switch 2 without router. This is router. If you connect S1 directly to S2, this device cannot communicate with this device. Cannot. It must have 1 router at least. Okay, so S2, this LAN, if this computer wants to communicate with server, it must pass to switch, then router, then switch, then here. We cannot communicate switch to switch till now. Okay, we have special case here. We have multi-layer switch, and multi-layer switch act like router. Later we'll see it. Okay, but in ordinary ordinary switches, classic switches, we cannot communicate 2 different network ID. If you want to put switch to switch, you can. You must change the IPs to the same network IP. Here, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, 10.5. Now you can connect S1 with S2 to communicate with each other. Okay, if we have LAN 1 in the building, the first floor, and S2 in the second floor or third floor in the building, so we can put switch connected to switch, but in the same network ID. Here we have different network ID. Here we have 11.0, same starting point. Okay, 192.168.11.0. Here we have 10.0. So different network ID. Even we connect the switches, we cannot see each other. So it must have different network ID. We must put router. And here we have also network 3, LAN 3, LAN 4, LAN 5. Each one has different network ID. All of them starting by 192.168. Here we have 100, 101, 102. Here we have, you can put any host. You can put 254 and device. You can put here from this network ID, you can put here 254 computer, 254 host, 254 host for this network ID. Later, we'll talk about how we know how many devices we can connect using this network ID later. Okay, but if we have different network IDs, we cannot communicate with each other unless we have a router. Now, this router will route different network ID, different LAN to communicate with each other. And so on. We can put this router via internet or only in the building. Okay. If we have bank without internet, or we have a supermarket, big supermarket, mall. If you have mall, different level of building, different floors. Each floor has switches, okay, and each floor has different rooms or different computers host. For each shop, we have big mall, 10 floors. Example, any mall, city mall or other, 10 floors. Okay, each floor has switch, and each floor has different end device. Each device come from shop. We have many shops, many restaurant, cinema, and so on. Without internet, no need to internet. So they can communicate with each other via one router, connected all the floors. Of course, it's optional to put this router via internet. If we put this router to the internet, so all the end device here can go to the internet, can access internet. Okay. If we put here firewall, so we can allow some of them to go internet and disallow the others to go to the internet. So it's security here. We make some security. We can open the firewall or turn off the firewall, physical firewall. I mean here, physical firewall, not firewall at your Windows 10. Okay, we have two types of firewall. Software firewall, like your computers, your personal computer, you have Windows 10 firewall. You can close port number or open port number. We'll do it later. How to access email or how to disallow your computer to access internet. Only for emails, not for internet, or for special websites. You can disallow your computer to access some special or some customized websites. You put your IPs in your deny list in your computer. The firewall inside, software firewall inside your computer, inside Windows 10, has access list and deny list. If you put any IP address of Hotmail or other or Amazon or whatever IP address in deny list, so your computer cannot access this website. Okay, so we have firewall software and physical device firewall. Physical device firewall is very powerful, is more powerful than software firewall. Software firewall, it can be attacked by special hackers, can be attack your computer, even you make firewall, software firewall. They have some bugs inside Microsoft. Yes, Microsoft Windows 10 has bugs, okay? And lot of hackers can access your Windows 10, your computer, even you put firewall. advanced hackers, okay? But normally person, no, he cannot access your computer. Whereas physical firewall, the physical firewall is more powerful because it's physical, okay? It's not software. So the hackers, very, 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 very difficult to penetrate, to access, to enter your network if you put firewall, physical firewall, okay? And you configure it well, okay? So this is called, this network called logical topology because we have network IDs and the names, and this the same network, here call it physical topology. Physical topology means each LAN, which room? Physically where? Where it is physically? In room 2158. This server is in shelf 1, rack 2. This server exists in shelf 2, rack 2, and so on and so on. This LAN is IT office, room 2159 location. So physical topology describe the same network here via where are located physically where are located. This is map, physical topology is essential for network administrator. So the administrator who set up this network, he must know where each server or switch or router found to make maintenance, to reconfigure, to make, okay? Not only the IP address, of course, the network administrator, he want to know where physically exists and what is each one its IP address to access from its room. Here, the IT administrator from this computer remotely, he can access all these devices if he knows the IP address and, okay, of course, we have here in each and the router, of course, we have username and password, okay? We have authentication, of course, in Cisco routers and Cisco switches, also in management Cisco switches, management Cisco switches is different than ordinary switch, has username and password. So the network administrator know, because he built the network, so he put for every device here maybe different user and different password, maybe, okay, or all of them same user and same password. But it's more security to put for each one different user and different password, okay? So the administrator here, he can access all of this. Another client here, if he don't know the physically here username and password, he cannot reconfigure this switch or reconfigure this router. He cannot, okay? So this is another level of security. So each network administrator must has everything, network IDs and physically where are located. If this switch is down, is turned off or is down, from its room, he cannot access this server, so it must go there and fix it, make some maintenance, maybe power failure or and so on, or cable failure here. If this cable is will fail, so this all buildings or floors cannot access the server. So all the building or all the mall will be off. So this LAN is very, 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 very important. That's why in the same room, that's why, because the server room here, that's why they put switch, router, switch of the administrator, as you can see. So in the same room, they put 3 important device, router, switch 1, switch 2, in the same room. So the IT room in another, but their switch is located inside the server room. Server room, it's very important room, we must put our router and the first switch of the server inside the same room. Okay, whereas another switches can be for each floor has different room. Here in this example, they put the 3 switches in another room, but all in one room. Okay, but usually not this done. Usually each floor has a switch room. Each floor has switch room. Each floor has switch room. Depend on the topology or administrator himself. Okay, this is two topology. So in this slide, I explain almost overview all the slides after. Okay, now common types of network. We have many sizes. For a small home called LAN, small home. If you have one apartment or one office called SOHO, small house, small office, home office. If you have like SOHO, like مكتب محاماة, firm, lower firm, accounting, we have only 2 or 3 or 5 computers, a small number of computers located in the same room, in the same or 2 different rooms. Okay, call it SOHO. Small office, home office. Okay, called SOHO. If you have medium large network like mall, we have let's say 10 floor or 5 floors. Each floor has different device, switches, routers, like example before. Call it in the same building. In the same building, we call it medium to large network. Okay, so this is called medium to large network. Okay, we have here LAN. We have the same LAN here, but if we put this floor has switch, this floor has switch, this floor has switch, and all connected to the router, so in the medium large network we have different LAN here. LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3 connected together to the router, like example before. Of course, we have WWW, worldwide, okay, network, WWN. So we have internet here from each countries, okay, connected via internet. So this is the sizes, small to big. Example here, example, LANs and WANs. Now we'll talk about LAN and WAN, okay? So each switch, as you can see here, who tell me here? How many LANs we have? Tell me. How many LAN we have inside this picture?
3.
3. 3. Wrong. Wrong أو لا؟ حتى نتأكد. اوكي
4.
4. اوكي مين بقول غير؟ يلا شو عديتوا؟ شو عم تعدوا؟ What are you count?
Switch تقريبا.
Switches. برافو switches. We have here in central LAN, okay, in central here we have switch.
في عندنا multi layer switch كمان.
Multi layer switch act like router here. Okay, it's a bridge router, a bridge switch called. Okay, has different names here. Okay, later we'll talk about.
بس هاي مش نتورك، يعني لازم تكون 1 لان حسابها مش 2.
هلا هون depend اذا 1 LAN. شوف اذا وصلنا سويتشات مع بعضهم, if we connect all the switches together, okay, before router, it must has all this the end device the same network ID, starting by the same IP. Okay, so we can call it LAN 1 if the IP is here in the same network ID. So this is the switches are for failure switches, failure LAN, failure cable. So backup paths, only for backup paths. They put 2 switches here only for backup. But this computer, if we want this computer and this cable is failed, so he has another route here. Okay, so we can consider this as one LAN if all the devices in the same network ID. Else, if these computers has different network ID and this, so these are two LAN. Here also we have a switch, IP phones and computers, servers, and we have here wireless switch. Okay, we have here wireless switch. Okay, so here we have another LAN. Okay, if we configure this wireless switch in the same subnet of all the devices, so this is LAN 2. All of this are, we call it LAN. Also, home office, we have wireless router. No switches here. No switches. No need to switch in wireless. Okay, here we have switch wireless. Here we have a router wireless. So here, router wireless directly connected your tablet, your laptop, and cable by cable router. Also, wireless router has ports, okay, to configure. Has network port to connect computer or print sharing here. Here we have print sharing. So, as you can see here, if all the devices here are the same network ID, like this example here, okay, this is LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3. So we have a 3 LAN. Each LAN has its router. All the routers connected to the cloud or to the internet. So here we have LAN and WAN. This part where we have different routers, different location, using WAN, this symbol Z, the letter Z, red letter Z here, means WAN. This WAN can be done via fiber optics or wireless, WiMAX and so on, or dedicated beam. Later on, we'll talk about them, okay? So, this is example for LAN and WAN, okay? The difference between them, okay, the size of the area covered. For small area, we put LAN. Number of user connected. Area of responsibility, يعني حسب IT room أو غير room أو whatever. The two most common type of network we have LAN 1, local area network, LAN, small networks. Wide area network, WAN, big networks to the internet. Okay, and we have another MAN for cities and so on. We have another names. Later we'll see them all. Here, what are the difference between LAN and WAN? LAN, as you can see, small area, for small area. WAN for big area or wide geographically area. Branch 1 and branch 2. Here we have router, here we don't have router. So the server inside the room or floor, one switch to connect all of them. So this is LAN. Limited area, we have here limited area. Whereas in WAN, we have a wide area. We have here single organization or individual for small office, whatever. Here typically more than service provider. Service provider, شركة الانترنت, the company of internet to go out. Advantage of LAN is high speed than WAN. It depends on the network media here. What are the network media in the WAN? If they are connected via fiber optics, so this is faster than this. But if they are connected via cable, okay, LAN is faster than WAN, because if we connected the same cable, Cat6 or Cat7, the same cable, but we have here delays. We have a lot of devices. Each device has its internal delay, so will be slower. If they are two connected via same category LAN, same UTP cable LAN, Cat6, let's say, Cat6 here and Cat6 here. So this is faster than this because here we have one device only, one delay. Here we have one delay, two delay, three delay, four delay. So the delays will be 4 times more. So this will be slower than this. But if the connection is fiber optics here, so fiber optics is very faster, more faster than LAN. Okay, it depends on the one, but usually LAN is faster because it's small and only one intermediate device. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5, maybe 6, depend on the area. So this is difference between LAN and WAN. Here we have different subnet ID. Here we have same subnet ID. Here we can call it work group. Here we can call it work group. Here, this is work group 1 and this work group 2. We cannot call it all of them work group. This is work group 1 because they have same network ID. Here, work group 2 because we have another network ID, but all the same. Okay? We'll see them later in details. Now, connected to the internet. As you can see, each one of you or home LAN, you have router, DSL router. All of you have you access internet via router, okay, small router in the home or DSL router, or and so on. So you connect to the internet, okay, and another home, hospital, government LAN, business, school, whatever, all of them can connect routers, and each router can connect another routers or another multi-layer switches or another routers. As you can see in the WAN here, they are mesh connection for power failure, full failure, another backup path if one of them is failed or disconnected. Okay, so always we must configure our network backup path, always minimum one backup failure. Okay, like last week, Ojero, DSL Ojero in Lebanon, they make some maintenance in fiber optics, okay, but has another fiber optics plan. Example, in Lebanon, Ojero, Lebanon, all Lebanon and Syria, even Iran, Iraq, Saudi, and all the Gulf, we go to the internet via Cyprus, okay, via fiber optics. Later we'll show you how. okay. فاوجيرو عمل مينتنس، اذا لاحظتوا اوجيرو عمل مينتنس وقال لكم انه حيعمل باك اب بلان ابطا، بطئ الكمبيوتر لانه راح على القبرص، راح على مصر، مدوا من كم سنه، من 2016 بعتقد او 15، عملوا another fiber optics between Lebanon and Egypt to Cyprus لقبرص، فطلعت بطيئه شوي. فلما عملوا باك اب مينتنس على الفايبر اوبتكس بتوين لبنان اند سايبرس، عملوا مينتنس، شغل لبنان كله على another fiber optics يلي رايح من لبنان على مصر. Okay, that's why the internet last week are very slow. Okay, I will stop here and reconnect again. Okay, and reconnect again.